Howdy, folks. I normally don't do voiceover videos, but I wasn't really planning on making a video of this war club I just finished up. And then I decided maybe I would integrate it into the next video I'm working on, but I figured I could maybe BS and talk for a couple minutes about it and show you a little footage and tell you how I went about making it and do some dumb ninja moves along the river and the mountains. I am a mountain ninja. So here we go. War clubs. I modeled this one loosely after the Iroquois Nation ball head war clubs. And I started off with there was a live tree along the riverbank. It was ironwood, hornbeam tree, and I'd been searching one out, the right one, for I'd say roughly 3 weeks. I was out looking about when I was out hiking around with Bonzo, just keeping my eyes peeled. And then one day along the riverbank, there she was. What I had been looking for all that time was a tree growing straight out the riverbank and up, more on like a 90-degree angle with a nice big old root ball. And it had to be a hardwood tree. And there's ironwood in my area, and I use that for a lot of different things. I've carved axe handles out of it. I've been working on a few traditional bows with ironwood. It's just a super hard wood once it seasons up. Now I started cutting this down and shaping it when it was green, which made it a lot easier. And it's still fairly green, but this war club is going to get extremely rock solid over time. And I can't wait. It's already solid. It's a beast. It's got a little bit of heft to it. I wanted to make it as long as from my palm to my armpit, the same length as I would like if I was taking a pack axe out with me out in the woods, or making a baton. That's a good length for a baton. So basically, this war club gives me another arm length of extension if I was going to be going into battle with it. And it's light enough that I can really whip it around, as you can see. It's not too heavy, and I just kind of went with it. And I started off by, I actually used my Blackwater Bowie knife. That's all I had on me the day that I harvested the tree. And I chopped the tree out of the bank there where it had been eroding or corrosion or whatever that's called. I brought it home and started working on it. I guess this project has taken me about a week of messing with it on and off. I really like these kinds of projects because I can take that war club out with me and carve on it up the mountain or along the river, and I don't need a lot of tools. The tools I used to create this were, of course, I used that Blackwater Bowie to hack that tree down, and then when I got back I used a carpenter's half hatchet and did a very rough shaping of the warhead club. After that, I started using a rasp for a while to get a little bit better shape out of it. Then I went to use my Hobo Forge Puko knife, did a lot of carving with that, and I'd jump back and forth. I'd go back to the rasp, go back to the hatchet a little bit, and just, I jump around with the tools I use. There's no set way, in my opinion, to get a project done. However you get it done, as long as you get it done, that's what counts. Whatever you're comfortable, whatever tools you're comfortable using. I did not use any kind of power tools to shape the war club. I did it all manually. Now, when it came to carving that owl's face on the ball, that I have to admit I used a Dremel tool and I power carved it on. I was going to do it with a little carving knife, and ironwood's tough. It wasn't like it was some poplar or some pine or something like that, nice and soft and easy to carve. And I could have got it done just using my knife, but I figured, what the heck, let's get it done. So I used the Dremel and power carved that axe's face. I mean the owl's face in there, and I was pretty happy with it. That's just what was speaking to me when I was staring into that ball and wondering if I even wanted to carve anything. I thought about carving just a regular creepy face on the front. And then I started thinking, like, I just was visualizing an owl on that ball. And then I really started thinking about how a lot of tribes, as far as I know, I'm not a historian or expert, but it was bad juju. That was a bad omen. If you, like, when tribes were going in to raid another tribe or go into battle, if they heard an owl hooting out in the woods, they thought that was a bad omen, and they would call off their raid of another tribe or their attack of settlers or anything like that. Like, that was supposed to be a bad omen to hear it, so I figured I'll carve an owl on the ball of that, and if I was going into battle with my enemies, it might instill a little bit of fear into them. Just my silly thinking. I don't know. As you can see right there, I did fill in some major wormholes with some epoxy in the handle, and it was pretty hollow at points. And if I would have just not, I could have left it be, and it probably would have seasoned up enough. Ironwood's so strong that it probably would have been alright. But when it came down to it, I want to make it as strong and powerful as I can. So that's what I did. But I hope you all enjoyed the video. I'll catch you on the next one.